Now, we all know that life on our Rust island is a grind. The time commitment required to be successful in the game of Rust is significant. And since the implementation of seeds and farming and dealing with genetics and all that stuff, that time commitment has only gotten worse. So just imagine if there was a way that we could change it up for the players that don't maybe necessarily have all that much extra time and take just one piece of that and speed it up for them. Imagine if your players could plant their seeds and immediately have them grow to full growth without having to wait the sometimes over 2 hours in order for them to get there. And once they're planted there, we can also make it so that they last forever, never die, and are always ready to be harvested. Hey everybody, welcome back to Rust Admin Academy, where I'm teaching you everything that you need to know about owning and operating a successful Rust server. On this channel, I do plugin reviews and tutorials, plus I want to give you all of the little tips and tricks that are going to help you be more successful with your server. If you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing so that you stay up to date on everything that we're working on. And of course, turn on notification bells so that you get notified as soon as I upload a new video. All right, so today we're going to be talking about two separate plugins, and you can decide which ones you want to use. Both of them are available from gameforfreak.io. The links for both of these plugins are going to be listed down below. Both of these plugins are super lightweight, super simple. It's not a huge learning curve. You basically just need to decide, do I want to do this for my players or not? So the first plugin that we're going to talk about is called Instant Crops. The default configuration file just comes with 4 different seeds available to be instant crops. And you of course can add or remove whichever seeds you don't want to be in the instant crop category. Where this is going to be incredibly important is instant crops basically negates all genetics. So if you have players on your server that are big into genetics, you don't want to use this feature for them. But you also have the ability of making it so that certain seeds aren't available for instant crops, or you can just use a permissions limitation and only grant the permission for instant crops to the specific group of people that don't really care about genetics. So what I've done is just gone in and added all of the different seeds that are available in the game into my configuration file. So no matter what I plant, I'm going to have an instant crop from that seed. It's also important to note that you've got 2 different toggles for each different seed type. So as you can see here, we've got immediate ripeness in planters. By default, this is set to false. And then we've also got immediate ripeness in ground. So if you're planting seeds out in the world, not inside your base or not inside of a planter, do you want the plant to go to immediately ripe? By default, this is set to true. So for any of you old school players out there that have been around for a long time, you know that when we were out scavenging and picking up hemp plants and corn plants and all of these various different things, as soon as we ended up with seeds in our inventory, we would just immediately plant them basically right where we picked up the original plant. So that's what this is doing, is kind of giving us the ability to go back a couple of years when we didn't really take our seeds back to our bases. So now with our configuration file all set up and of course saved and reloaded the plugin, now when we plant seeds, it's going to be an instant crop and we can harvest them immediately. Now, as you can see here, I have water and light both on this planter, but because the growth periods don't really happen in this situation, that type of stuff isn't really necessary. I didn't try it without it because I use this server and this base for other things as well. I just happen to have water and light there. Now, the second plugin that I might suggest for the players on your server is Forever Ripe. Again, link in the video description down below. And it does exactly what it says it does. Once a plant comes to its full ripe state, it will stay there forever. Now, it's important to note that you don't have to use Forever Ripe with instant crops. You can set this up so that they have to go through the really slow progression through their different stages. Once it gets to the ripe state, it stays there forever. Never mind the instant crops altogether. And the configuration file is set up very similar to instant crops, where it only comes with 4 to begin with, and you can add or remove whichever ones you deem necessary for your server. So like I said before, both of these plugins are available from gameforfreak.io. Both of them are written by VisEntities, which you also may know as Dana, a very well-known and respected developer in the Rust community. You're going to see me doing plugins from gameforfreak.io every now and then sporadically, just same as I do with every other site that's available. I just think it's important that people know that this site is also available. VisEntities is still producing plugins, and they are high quality plugins at that. So if these lightweight and simple plugins are something that you might want for your server, check out this video on the left hand side of the screen where I've covered 3 other plugins from the same site that I think your players are absolutely going to love. Hopefully this video has earned your like and your sub down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next week.